Okay, hello. So I have several books that I could never read in a school setting because they mention God or religion. Some of them are like high school books where kids probably shouldn't be reading them anyway, just because they have like themes in them that kids probably shouldn't read. The one that I'm thinking of is A Clockwork Orange. But this is Old Turtle. It's a story by Douglas Wood. Watercolors by Chang Ki Chi. I may say that incorrectly. I found this book interesting. I think I bought it at a thrift store. The book itself was published in 1992. Yes, with that. Once long, long ago, yet somehow not so very long, when all the animals and rocks and winds and waters and trees and birds and fish, all the beings of the world could speak and understand one another. There began an argument. It began softly at first, quiet as the first breeze that whispered, "He is a wind who is never still." Quiet as a stone that answered, "He is a great rock that never moves." Gentle as the mountain that rumbled, God is a snowy peak high and above the clouds. And the fish in the ocean answered, God is a swimmer in the dark blue depths of the sea. No, said the star, God is a twinkling and shining. God is a twinkling and a shining far, far away. No, replied the ant, God is a sound and a smell and a feeling who is very, very close. God, said the antelope, is a runner, swift and free, who loves to leap and race with the wind. She is a great tree, murmured the willow, a part of the world, always growing and always giving. You are wrong, argued the island. God is separate and apart. God is like the shining sun far above all things, said the blue sky. No, he is a river who flows through the very heart of things, thundered the waterfall. I say things in different ways when I read to kids, and they listen even though it's like not a correct or syntactical inflection point. So I always find it funny listening to other people. She is a hunter, roared the lion. God is gentle, chirped the robin. He is powerful, growled the bear. And the argument grew louder and louder and louder. Stop! A new voice spoke. It rumbled loudly, like thunder, and it whispered softly, like butterfly sneezes. The voice seemed to come from Old Turtle. Now, Old Turtle hardly ever said anything, and certainly never argued about things like God. But now Old Turtle began to speak. God is indeed deep, she said to the fish in the sea, and much higher than high. She told the mountains, he is swift and free as the wind, and still and silent as a great rock. She said to the breezes and stones, she is the life of the world, Turtle said to the willow, always close by, yet beyond the farthest twinkling light. She told the ant and the star, God is gentle and powerful, above all things and within all things. God is all we dream of and all we seek, said Old Turtle, and all that we come from and all that we can find. God is. Old Turtle never said so much before. All the beings of the world were surprised and became very quiet. But Old Turtle had one more thing to say. There will soon be a new family of beings in the world, she said, and they will be strange and wonderful. They will be reminders of all that God is. They will come in many colors and shapes, with different faces and different ways of speaking. Their thoughts will soar to the stars, but their feet will walk the earth. They will possess many powers. They will be strong yet tender, a message of love from God to the earth, and a prayer from the earth back to God, and people came. There's the people. But the people forgot. They forgot that they were a message of love and a prayer from the earth. They began to argue about who knew God, who did not, and where God was and where he was not, and whether God was or was not. And often people misused their powers and hurt one another or killed one another. And they hurt the earth until finally even the forest began to die. Doesn't look happy or nice. And the rivers and the oceans and the plants and the animals and the earth itself, because the people could not remember who they were or where God was. Until one day there came a voice, like the growling of thunder, but as soft as a butterfly sneezes. Please stop. The voice seemed to come from the mountain who rumbled. Sometimes I see God swimming in the dark blue depths of the sea, and from the ocean who sighed. He is often among the snow-capped peaks reflecting the sun, and from the stone who said, sometimes I feel her breath as she blows by, and from the breeze who whispered, I feel his still presence as I dance among the rocks. And the star said, God is very close. And the island said, his love touches everything. Such a difference, right? Before, everybody was arguing, and they offered solutions. And after a long, lonesome, and scary time, the people listened and began to hear and see God in one another. And in the beauty of all the earth, and the old turtle smiled. And so did God.